Good evening, I'm Andrew Chang.
And I'm Adrienne Arsenault. Tonight, more big bucks for back to school.
Our government will be providing $50 million in new and direct one-time support.
Distancing, hiring, and ventilation. Ontario promises major upgrades, but the clock is ticking.
We need straightforward answers on changes that'll be made.
COVID surges where it was once contained. Spikes in BC, New Zealand, and Europe show how tenuous victory over the virus really is.
I think it's a win-win project.
Pairing farmers with too much food and food banks with too little. A win-win solution, except for those left out.
$50 million is small potatoes.
And a jaw-dropping rescue. A police officer pulls a man from certain death with just moments to spare. This is The National.
Parents across this country are frantically worried about their kids. Will it be safe to send them to school? Some are being pressed to make that call now.
Today, Ontario countered that widespread anxiety with a pile of money. It's for safety measures like more cleaning and to fix substandard ventilation. But there's one thing some parents really want that the government won't commit to. Here's Deanna Sumanak-Johnson on the relentless push for class size caps.
Today's back-to-school announcement involved a big figure.
Our government will be providing $50 million in new and direct one-time support for immediate ventilation and other HVAC upgrades to improve air quality in classrooms.
But that wasn't the news some hoped to hear. This elementary school teacher and parents started a petition asking Doug Ford to mandate smaller class sizes. It got more than 200,000 signatures.
I guess my reaction is we have some kind of development happening here, but this is not really the extent of what we're looking for here. We have Ontarians demanding a plan from the province that follows the evidence, which shows us small class sizes are needed.
And another parent group unimpressed.
We need straightforward answers on changes that'll be made to ventilation, sick days, supports within the school. I heard none of that.
The other part of the announcement today could lead to smaller class sizes, $500 million from school boards' reserve funds.
I'll be expanding the ability of boards for this year only in a one-time request to access reserve funding.
The government says school boards can spend it as they like, but those reserve funds are sometimes earmarked for other expenses. Toronto District School Board says much of theirs is set aside for benefit plans and other school support costs. In a letter to trustees today, the Toronto District School Board Director Carleen Jackson said it would not be prudent or good financial management if we were to use a large amount of reserve funds to cover the entire cost of smaller class sizes. And while the tug-of-war continues between the province, unions, and school boards, families are left to grapple with hard, practical questions, like how centuries-old schools can have their ventilation fixed in 3 weeks, or how to provide their children with a normal school experience while still protecting their health. Deanna Sumanak-Johnson, CBC News, Toronto.
So Deanna mentioned the questions about fixing poor ventilation. Our next story confirms parents have good reason to worry about that. Vicadopia spoke with an expert to give you an idea of the risks.
Wearing your mask for 8 hours.
A new school year in a pandemic means unexpected priorities for parents.
And do you feel a lot of fresh air coming through?
Anna K. Brown's son, Anthony, goes to an older school in a neighborhood with a high number of cases of COVID-19. The building is stuffy, not all the windows open, and that worries her.
They're all wearing this mask, trying to breathe, and just that same air just being circulating in that classroom.
Airflow is an important factor in the spread of the coronavirus. Coughing sends thousands of droplets flying through the air, the most common way to infect others. But just talking or breathing can also release smaller particles, which can float indoors for several hours. The science about how much of a risk those particles pose is still being studied. Today in Ontario, a $50 million promise to finally upgrade school ventilation, even buy air purifiers.
This will give peace of mind that the air our children are breathing is safe and that these upgrades can commence immediately.
Ontario is one of the few provinces that has addressed ventilation systems in its back-to-school plans. Public health specialists warn that's an oversight.
Because of the reality that we won't have the luxuries as those in Vancouver to necessarily just open the door or window in the middle of the winter.
The federal government recommends at a minimum schools ensure the ventilation system operates properly, increase air exchanges, open windows when possible. Engineering specialists say even that may not be enough.
We have systematically neglected our heating, ventilating, and air conditioning, or HVAC systems in many of our buildings, maybe especially in our schools, for a long, long time. And now all of a sudden we want to use them to help protect us.
For anxious parents like Anna K. Brown, that protection can't come soon enough. Vicadopia, CBC News, Toronto.
Today, Manitoba outlined its plan for a safe return to school, and part of that, strongly advising those from grades 5 to 12 to wear masks.
If that doesn't work, then we could mandate it, but we're not back yet, and so we're going to rely on Manitobans to follow recommendations, which they largely have.
Now, those students will be required, however, to wear masks on school buses. School start and end times will also be staggered, and common areas like lunchrooms will be cleaned at least twice a day. And in New Brunswick,
students of all ages will need to bring a clean face mask to school with them every day.
masks will be mandatory for students in grades 6 to 12, but specifically outside classrooms in the school's common areas. Younger students will be encouraged to wear a mask. High school students will also have to keep a 1 meter distance from their classmates and in many cases only attend school every other day.
And while provinces deal with schools, the feds are stepping in to help farmers, many of whom could only watch this spring and summer as months' worth of perishable goods went bad with no restaurants to sell to. David Thurton explains the program and who else it's helping.
So this is an organic barn.
Happy chickens make a happy farmer, and some government cash in these unstable times definitely helps.
It's a very interesting, fund that the government put in place, and I thank them for that.
Lefebvre is one of several food producers partnering with the Canadian government to divert surplus produce and protein to food banks across the country. Food that would have ended up in the dump as restaurants shut down and food supply lines were disrupted. At the same time, Canadian food banks saw record demand as unemployment soared.
I think it's a win-win project. Obviously, the families and the people who will benefit from the food banks and the food that will come through this initiative, it will be extremely important. For the farmers and the processors.
But some agricultural groups say they waited too long for relief and their crops went bad, like potato farmers.
There's also been product that's had to be destroyed, it's had to be buried or disposed of in some way because it just wasn't suitable.
And what was promised today doesn't go nearly far enough.
When you get down to the nitty-gritty and you say $50 million to offset an industry that exports $1 billion, $50 million is small potatoes.
It certainly won't cover all the staggering losses Canadian farmers have had to endure, but for food banks, this program will help restock shelves.
Is it enough? We could always use more. And what we're trying to do is to help as many people as we can.
Especially with the increasing number of Canadians turning to food banks during a pandemic. Toronto alone saw a 200% jump during the worst of it. David Thurton, CBC News, Ottawa.
Now, fighting COVID-19 remains something of a numbers game, so let's take a look at where the country's at tonight. Good news in Atlantic Canada. Just 2 new cases in New Brunswick. Elsewhere, a bit of a seesaw. Quebec saw more than 100 new cases, that high for the first time in a few days. Ontario is down from yesterday with 78 cases, but for BC, 78 new cases is part of a broader upward swing. The day before, 85, the third highest one-day total since the pandemic began. It's the continuation of a trend, prompting fears of a dangerous backslide. And as BC's case numbers increase, so does the finger pointing. Some put the blame on clubs and bars. Others just blame young people themselves for putting a good time ahead of good sense. Tina Lovegreen takes a closer look.
This was right from the beginning to create the initial social distancing. This Vancouver pub has been given the nickname the Aquarium, and you can see why.
And how often do these get cleaned?
Every morning, everything is steamed.
But even with all of this, still a case linked to a bar patron 2 weeks ago.
A small group came in. They were sat within their own social circle, and an individual stood up to go to the washroom, and on his way, he actually spoke to somebody in one of the other booths, and that was it.
The customer was asymptomatic, but it was enough for health officials to put out a notice and hurt business.
Probably seen a 25-30% decrease that happened immediately over that weekend.
At least 3 other nightclubs have had exposures. Officials are warning people who visited to monitor for symptoms.
I was down near Yaletown on that night of the 8th where several businesses got sort of contact traced there, and it was just a gong show down there. Like, everybody was outside, they didn't seem like they cared.
This venue, Pierre's Lounge, was forced to shut down for violating public health orders.
When, people start to consume alcohol, sort of their inhibitions, go out the window. And for us, we can't entirely control that.
But the group representing bars and nightclubs says venues are doing their part.
It's the patrons who are not following the rules, which is difficult.
As the case numbers in BC continue to go up, the majority are young people under the age of 30.
They make up a disproportionate proportion of our cases.
Psychologists say young people have to get over their feeling of invincibility.
And you might be asymptomatic, but by you going out and partying, you might end up killing your granny, getting infected yourself, not knowing that you're infected, and then spreading to your friends or family or loved ones.
And with the curve climbing at a higher rate than in March, the second wave could be bigger than the first. Tina Lovegreen, CBC News, Vancouver.
In Europe, several countries are trying to flatten curves that have been trending upwards in recent days. Spain today recorded the highest number of new infections since April, more than 2,900. While France has already broken its record set yesterday with nearly 2,700 new cases. But rising infection rates aren't the only things these countries have in common. As Margaret Evans tells us, both are now covered by British travel restrictions.
The Paris Marathon in happier times, flowing past iconic landmarks. But this year, COVID-19 controls the streets, or at least what's happening on them. And this week, organizers decided to cancel the race they'd already postponed once because of the virus now staging a worrying comeback. Today, France reported more than 2,600 new cases over the past 24 hours, a post-lockdown high. Some cities are now making masks compulsory outdoors, and anyone flying in or out of France must wear a single-use surgical mask. Homemade or reusable ones not allowed. Everything we do today is to avoid a new lockdown, said the French Health Minister Olivier Véran. Many believe the easing of travel restrictions is fueling spikes in several European countries, including Germany. Berlin is introducing mandatory testing for travelers returning from hotspots. Germany's health minister, Jens Spahn, says they're the biggest concern. It's not the time for selfishness, he's saying. We can only defeat corona in a team game. Germany has warned its citizens against travel to parts of Spain, but that didn't deter these holidaymakers. I said to myself that I could just as easily get infected in Germany, says Marcus Krausch. But Spain now has the worst infection rate in Western Europe, almost tripling in July, overtaking the United Kingdom. Today, the region of Galicia banned smoking in public places, fearing it's helping to spread the virus. A few weeks ago, young Brits partying on the Spanish coast were blamed by locals for being unsafe. Since then, Britain has imposed a quarantine on its citizens or anyone else entering the UK from Spain. And just tonight, it added France to that quarantine list, along with Malta and the Netherlands. Margaret Evans, CBC News, London.
A dramatic turn in New Zealand this week. The country went 102 days without a locally transmitted case. Now it reports more than a dozen.
That as with our first outbreak, we do have an expectation that things will get worse before they get better.
So at least 17 cases are now linked to a new cluster in Auckland. That cluster triggered a 3-day lockdown of the city, something many believe will be extended as officials try to clamp down before it gets worse. Officials say the virus may have been circulating for weeks.
Israel and the United Arab Emirates, two countries with no diplomatic relations. But today, they've reached a deal to change that. It's an agreement Donald Trump helped broker, a foreign policy win for the Middle East, but one the U.S. president is also planning on using at home. Paul Hunter has more.
Lighting up City Hall in Tel Aviv tonight, the blue and white of Israel, and as well the green, white, black, and red of the United Arab Emirates.
Just a few moments ago, I hosted a very special call with two friends.
Donald Trump with the surprise announcement this morning.
After 49 years, Israel and the United Arab Emirates will fully normalize their diplomatic relations.
Trump's call with Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu and UAE's Crown Prince Mohammed bin Zayed is said to have sealed the deal.
This is the greatest advancements toward peace between Israel and the Arab world in the last 26 years.
Israel struck a peace accord with Egypt in '79 and with Jordan in 1994, but most other Arab countries have failed to recognize Israel. Until now, says Trump. Stay tuned.
Now that the ice has been broken, I expect more Arab and Muslim countries will follow the United Arab Emirates lead.
A key part of the agreement, Israel will suspend plans to annex chunks of Palestinian territory in the West Bank. In return, Israel gets that long-wanted recognition from another Arab country. Then there's Iran. Along with the U.S., both Israel and the UAE see that country as a constant threat. The deal strengthens opposition against Iran within the region. But Palestinians quickly turned thumbs down on all of it, a government spokesman today calling it a betrayal. Palestinians have long urged Arab countries to steer clear of Israel until Israel agrees to lasting peace with Palestinians.
For Donald Trump, it's a big foreign policy achievement, just as his re-election campaign is set to begin in earnest. Low in the polls, he seemed happy with how it's all playing out. It's a great, great thing, he said. Andrew.
And Paul, speaking of the election, Trump is continuing to weigh in on how he thinks voting will actually play out.
Yeah, it's all about how to actually conduct the vote in November. Most people in this country agree that standing in line at a polling station during a pandemic, maybe for hours, is a potential health hazard. So the idea of voting by mail has caught fire big time, but not in the White House. Donald Trump is now pushing back against the U.S. Postal Service and a request for more money for it. Trump is directly linking that request with the move toward voting by mail and suggesting, without evidence, that voting by mail will lead to voting fraud. Trump critics suggest he's in fact worried it'll lead to more people voting and voting for Joe Biden. Today, Trump said he opposes the new funding. Man, did he ever. Here he is on Fox News when he called in to talk about it.
They want $3.5 billion for something that'll turn out to be fraudulent. That's election money, basically. They want $3.5 billion for the mail-in votes, okay, universal mail-in ballots. There's nothing wrong with getting out and voting. You get out and vote. They voted during World War I and World War II. Now, if we don't make a deal, that means they don't get the money. That means they can't have universal mail-in voting.
Trump opponents are tonight saying he is simply trying to manipulate the Postal Service for his own political gain. Andrew, it's going to be a wild ride from here to November.
Paul Hunter, thank you very much.
It is another violent night in Belarus as thousands flock to the streets to protest the election victory of Alexander Lukashenko. As Stephen D'Souza shows us, despite brutal efforts by the government to crack down, the demonstrations are growing.
5 days of protests and brutal crackdowns has left Belarus in turmoil. These workers at a state-run industrial plant became the latest group to raise their voices in anger over Sunday's presidential elections and the crushing violence that followed. From videos on social media of ex-soldiers tossing out their uniforms, to groups of women holding bouquets of flowers and forming a human chain, the anger on the streets has only grown. That despite seemingly indiscriminate and constant police beatings. And the violent suppression of large protests since President Alexander Lukashenko declared victory on Sunday in an election observers say was neither fair nor free. Since then, close to 7,000 protesters have been detained. Our women, our children are being killed and beaten up, violated and taken away. Those released have emerged from detention centers with stories of more brutality, of squalid, overcrowded cells, no food or medical care, and severe beatings by guards. Lukashenko, in power for 26 years, is trying to win the information war. He claims the protesters are criminals, the unemployed and outside agitators. They have stolen not just my vote, but 26 years of my life. This regime must go away. Only one of the 3 women leading the opposition is still in Belarus. She promises to fight on.
But when we're together, we can run it. And I'm sure we will get to the victory.
A promise that the chorus calling for change will not go silent anytime soon. Stephen D'Souza, CBC News, New York.
Well, when it comes to COVID-19, officials say false and misleading information is costing lives.
Misinformation is causing real harm. It's causing deaths, it's causing injury.
Next on The National, the Canadian innovation aimed at fighting misinformation, and it's fun too.
Are you sure?
Yes.
Awesome start! Wow, you did it!
And the Ontario village, now the scene of a hate crime investigation, vowing to continue fighting racism.
I'm really proud to say that people across town have been very positive, saying we won't back down.
And a split-second life-saving moment caught on camera. We're back in 2 minutes.
Welcome back. There was a heart-stopping rescue that was captured on police body camera in California. This is footage you need to see to believe.
Can you get up? Get up, get up, get up, get up.
Okay, so look at that, an incredibly close call as an officer runs out of her car to drag a man to safety just moments before that freight train barrels into his wheelchair. The 66-year-old seemed to be trapped between the rail tracks. He suffered a leg injury and was taken to hospital. The officer, of course, is being hailed a hero.
That's pretty wild. A funnel cloud touched down in southwestern Manitoba tonight as the region deals with some pretty severe weather.
It's definitely touching down. It's getting a lot closer here.
Environment Canada says it received multiple reports of what they call a brief tornado near Brandon. The worst of it seems over. Tornado warnings have been dropped, but there was strong wind, intense rain, and large hail. Also, less than a week ago, nearby, an EF2 tornado killed 2 teenagers. A fire in northwest Ontario continues to threaten the town of Red Lake. Firefighters are battling strong winds from the south, complicating efforts to try and protect the community. The flames have engulfed about 550 hectares of forest and forced thousands of people from their homes. Crews are hoping rain in tonight's forecast will help.
A Métis man is fasting and camping outside the Saskatchewan legislature tonight. He wants the MLAs inside to pass what he calls meaningful legislation on suicide prevention. But as Bonnie Allen reports, while a few ministers met with him, the province took him to court for trespassing.
More than 24 people showed up to support him in court, but 24-year-old Tristan DeRocher chose to stay at his teepee in Wascana Park. DeRocher says he was just 10 years old when he started playing the fiddle at funerals for people who had died by suicide.
And I could have been playing at the playground, but I was playing beside a hole in the ground.
DeRocher walked 635 kilometers to Regina to pray, fast, and fiddle across from the Saskatchewan Legislative Building. He's surrounded by the faces of 100 people who took their own life. DeRocher is frustrated that Sask Party MLAs voted against a bill that would have declared suicide a public health crisis. 2 ministers who met with DeRocher said they appreciate DeRocher's advocacy on this issue. Our government will continue working to implement Pillars for Life, the Saskatchewan Suicide Prevention Plan.
This is no longer a political hunger strike because they've already come to tell me they're not going to do anything. And so if I was to not eat until they did something, I would die here.
DeRocher vows to fast for 44 days, 1 day for every MLA who rejected the bill. But he's been served with a trespass notice. The province's park agency says he's breaking bylaws by camping overnight, setting up a structure, and lighting a fire.
Hurt, not angry, hurt. They have no feelings. They have no sympathy for people that suffer.
Police are refusing to remove DeRocher without a court order. They want to avoid scenes like this one from another protest camp 2 years ago.
I'll be here until my fast is complete.
This afternoon, the judge granted an adjournment until September 4th to give DeRocher's lawyer more time to prepare a constitutional argument that DeRocher's charter rights trump park bylaws. Bonnie Allen, CBC News, Regina.
The past few months have seen a reckoning take place in cities around the world. Protests against systemic racism and police brutality have sparked a movement. It's a rallying cry that's also being heard in smaller communities looking for ways to show their solidarity, like in Schaumburg, Ontario, a community about an hour northwest of Toronto where many have been sharing their own Black Lives Matter and Indigenous Lives Matter signs. But one angry response has caused concern, and today it led to an arrest. Jonathan Gatehouse walks us through what happened.
The main street of the quaint Ontario village of Schaumburg was unusually busy this afternoon as emergency response team officers arrested a male suspect in connection with a possible hate crime. 3 nights ago, a number of Indigenous Lives Matter signs were stolen and set on fire. Greg Locke came across the remnants on his regular morning walk.
I was able to see in some of the debris that you could recognize some of the color in the vinyl that hadn't been quite burned. It turned out to be burned signs.
Since Canada Day, Black Lives Matter and Indigenous Lives Matter signs have lined the lawns and storefronts. As people in other larger cities were marching and protesting racial injustices, Schaumburg was showing its solidarity quietly.
I wanted a really visible and present and ongoing sign that this was a safe place for Indigenous people, for Black people.
But late last week, on a community Facebook page, a different message. A resident threatening that he would be burning all Indigenous Lives Matter signs.
It was a rant about Indigenous people and very misinformed, very ignorant.
Susan Heslop runs the Schaumburg community Facebook page.
I immediately didn't allow it, so nobody saw the actual post from the actual person. I just screenshotted it and called the police.
Police have charged a man with mischief and uttering threats. He's since been released. Sources tell CBC News that the man is the same individual whose profile was attached to the post.
We are taking it very seriously. This investigation is being overseen by our hate crime unit.
Only hours after the signs were stolen, Alicia and her partner were handing out replacements and are planning to order hundreds more.
I'm really proud to say that people across town have been very positive, saying we won't back down. Give us more signs. Let's put them back up.
Fantastic. Got the new sign.
The community sending a clear message. Hate isn't welcome here. Jonathan Gatehouse, CBC News, Schaumburg.
Well, next, a close-knit community hit hard by COVID-19.
Now, everybody knows somebody that has had it.
We'll look at how the challenges faced by one population went well beyond the virus itself.
And later, the two boys who decided to send a little bit of PEI to Canadians missing their island getaway during the pandemic.
Welcome back. Ontario Premier Doug Ford met today with mayors from the Windsor-Essex area as the region joined the rest of the province loosening coronavirus restrictions.
They've went through this pandemic and everyone's pulled together, and I'm so happy they're in stage 3.
It means nearly all businesses and public spaces are able to reopen. But a reminder of the risks, 8 new COVID-19 cases were reported today in that region. Now, we've been telling you about how outbreaks at farms held up the region's reopening. Farms where many migrant workers and members of the Low German community work. The secluded Mennonite population was hit particularly hard. And as Chris Ensing tells us, the challenges they faced during the pandemic go beyond COVID.
Beroerde van Oxford County, Elgin County en St. Thomas melken bekend dat allemaal na 'n law afzaten.
In these times, reaching out is more important than ever.
The Southwestern Public Health heeft ons nu weitergelopen.
This radio station, an essential service, has new obstacles. They're broadcasting public health messages in Low German.
There are certainly some words that are difficult to translate, and so you have to do the concept, right?
The Low German community has deep roots in southwestern Ontario. Large families, the norm. Some Low Germans are Mennonites by ethnicity or by faith, or not at all. A diverse community in the thousands, dealing with a recent surge in COVID-19 cases.
Up until a couple of weeks ago, very few of us knew anybody that had it or had any experience with it, right? And I think now everybody knows somebody that has had it.
In early July, a warning. Dozens of people may have been exposed to COVID following a funeral service at this church. A high priority alert from public health hit the airwaves. A familiar voice trying to reach a self-sufficient community steeped in oral tradition and some who may be hesitant to seek healthcare services.
Being a first-generation Canadian,
Helen Bergen is a Low German Mennonite and a nurse practitioner.
this is a community that is very close-knit. Traditionally, there has been maybe some level of distrust from, government institutions.
As the rest of Ontario reopened, Windsor-Essex remained a hotspot. Hundreds of migrant workers testing positive during outbreaks at farms where Low German families also work. Leamington's hospital noticed more Low Germans hospitalized for COVID. At the same time, local leaders and mentors like Bergen focused on a grassroots response, asking pastors to preach public health messages during a pandemic.
Have it come from the leaders. So traditionally, we know that has worked well with this community, and we thought it was definitely worth an effort to give that a try.
While outreach was ongoing, the community was named by local health authorities.
We want to make sure that the community, the low-speaking German community, understand some of the severity of what we are seeing locally.
No numbers released, but defined as a surge. Bergen questions the decision. Cultural practices like large church services were altered or had been put on pause. To Low Germans told to physically distance like everyone else, this message missed the mark.
There's been some that their response is just, well, we're just going to withdraw from the community even further.
Some pointed fingers, called Bible thumpers, singled out online. Community members felt like they had a target on their backs.
They are good people, and for this to happen to them bothers me deeply.
Leamington's mayor took calls from mothers who were told that playdates were over.
Little Mary won't be able to play with your daughter because you're Low German, and we know that you have your potential to be a carrier of the virus.
Currently, community cases are declining. The region has reopened, standing in front of one of the many companies owned by Low German Mennonites on a hot summer's day. Bergen highlights the cold reality of COVID-19.
The virus hasn't changed how it is behaving and working and how it spreads through the community. So the only way that we can control the outbreaks and the number of cases that we see is by controlling our human behavior.
A reminder that the virus itself does not discriminate. Chris Ensing, CBC News, Windsor, Ontario.
Next on The National, a trivia game about an issue that's anything but trivial.
So which of the following are high-risk locations for COVID-19 transmission?
All of the above.
Are you sure?
Yes.
Awesome start! Wow, you did it!
A Canadian student's innovative idea to fight harmful misinformation about COVID-19. See how it works next. Canada's Bianca Andreescu will not defend her U.S. Open championship. She tweeted her decision today, saying it was based on a variety of challenges, including complications preparing during the pandemic. Andreescu stunned the sports world last September, delighted Canadians when she beat Serena Williams for her first major title. There is new persuasive evidence that lives are at risk when people believe false information about COVID-19. Well, an Ontario woman has created a fun way for people to get their facts straight. Katie Nicholson shows us that.
So which of the following are high-risk locations for COVID-19 transmission?
All of the above.
Are you sure?
Yes.
Awesome start! Wow, you did it!
Riddhi Patel walks her siblings through Quarant Trivia, an online trivia game she created to call out myths about COVID-19.
And the player's job is to help Dr. Pixel remove this newfound viral particle from Pixel World. Okay, now you can learn. See, you can click here. So if you answer enough questions correctly, you succeed by helping Dr. Pixel remove the virus from Pixel World.
Dr. Pixel loves it when you're right, but cries when you're wrong.
She's way ahead of you.
I don't care.
Either way, players get the facts.
It makes it more fun to learn.
That was important to the science student who hopes to become a doctor.
There is a lot of uncertainty that comes with COVID-19, and misinformation in the mix can have devastating effects.
Just this week, this international study found that after a false claim circulated that consuming highly concentrated alcohol could kill the coronavirus, there were approximately 800 deaths, nearly 6,000 hospitalizations, and 60 cases of people going blind, all from consuming alcohol.
Misinformation is causing real harm. It's causing deaths, it's causing injury, it's causing financial loss, it's causing bad health and science policy.
Tim Caulfield, who has publicly pushed back against COVID-19 misinformation in Canada, has played the game.
Go team.
And he applauds Patel's creativity.
And research tells us that these kinds of strategies can have a real impact. I think it's a wonderful idea.
And one that Patel intends to keep building on, with help from her professors to make sure it reflects the latest COVID facts.
If even a handful of people can learn some things from this game and even take away one fact from this game, I think it could make a real difference and it can really save someone's life.
One pixel at a time. Katie Nicholson, CBC News, Toronto.
Okay, next on The National. They fought COVID-19 and won.
I'm 19 years old. I'm a healthy guy. I didn't know at that point if I was going to come out of ICU.
From the ICU to recovery, survivors of serious COVID cases share their stories when we come back.
hip-hop's journey into mainstream dominance and the man who helped shape it. This is Not a Drake podcast, now available on CBC Listen or wherever you get your podcasts.
I'm Michelle Shepard. Tomorrow on CBC's daily news podcast, Front Burner. Why protesters are still on the streets of Beirut in the wake of the devastating explosion in the Lebanese capital's port. Subscribe wherever you get your podcasts.
There are now more than 107,000 recovered cases of COVID-19 in Canada. Each one a person with a unique story of survival to share. So tonight, we are revisiting some of those survival stories because months later, their messages still resonate.
I'm Dr. Dine Favit, and I'm 66 years old. Practiced emergency medicine in the Windsor area for over 35 years. Prior to getting sick, my plan was to work the COVID clinic. I had got my privileges reinstated at the hospital. I said, okay, I'll work the COVID clinic, and I was waiting for the schedule before getting sick.
So I'm at University of Calgary. I'm a business major with a focus in human resources. I usually live on campus, like in a dorm. My name is Matt Greenshields. I'm 19 years old. I'm from Okotoks, Alberta. In my spare time, I like to play a lot of sports. I usually play volleyball specifically, and then beach volleyball.
So I'm a stay-home mom. I used to work in a bank, but then when I had my kids, and when I found out that my son has autism, so I dedicated my time for them to help them. They're 4, but they're turning 5 this end of May. My name is Julian Lingen. I'm 39 years old, a wife, and a mother of twins.
There was one case at the school that was confirmed in my business program, but they said that person hadn't been on campus much at all. So I must have just, in the business building, touched the wrong doorknob and then wiped my nose or something, just some freak accident that I never saw coming.
I contracted the virus from my husband.
I knew things were going downhill because I just couldn't breathe. And I had a little bit of cough, and I could feel a little bit of a wheeze. And my wife didn't like the way I was looking.
I had fever. It was high fever. I started coughing. I'm taking Tylenol and Advil, and it doesn't really help me at all.
I got very, very nauseous, and I had a coughing fit where I coughed up a lot of blood. And then that's when we pulled the trigger and said, there's something wrong, and it's not just a common cold.
I can't even talk, and by walking even one step, I'm already catching my breath. My husband drove me to the hospital. I didn't even hug my children that time, because what if it's really COVID?
The day after I tested positive for COVID, the news broke to me that I tested positive for mono as well. And the nurse came in and told my mom, like, he tested positive for coronavirus. And then she told my mom, you have to leave right now.
I actually asked them to intubate me because I said, I just can't breathe. This is crazy. It's the worst feeling in the world. I didn't realize till afterwards, but the doctor told me how severe it was when he said, with your chest x-ray, your age factor, he says, your morbidity was about 80%.
On my way down to the intensive care unit, when I was being wheeled through these hallways, I was like, I was quiet. I'm with my thoughts, and I'm thinking, I'm 19 years old. I'm a healthy guy. I didn't know at that point if I was going to come out of ICU.
And the scariest part was that thinking that I'd have to put my mother through something like this, my wife and kids, that, I may not make it out of this.
I basically fought for love. I can't imagine my kids growing up without me.
You saved my life, just like God touched you.
When the frontliner did my grand exit, that was really unexpected. So it made me realize that, my condition was really serious. I'm really thankful. I'm so grateful for them.
The day I left the hospital, they said, he says, I don't see any more reason to keep you here. I said, perfect. I gave my wife a call and I said, can you come and get me in 45 minutes? We turned the corner going down my street and I says, well, there's your cousin. And I go, There's a friend of mine and another friend of mine. Even now I get all choked up about it.
First, I didn't want to come forth and explain my story because I didn't want to scare anyone. I was made aware of some people my age who were still hosting events and still hosting small house parties, and people captioning their posts as, you know, COVID's got nothing on me. And I was like, you know, COVID does have something on you.
You know, it's hard on everybody. Businesses, I'm sure all the parents out there have exhausted every means of trying to entertain their kids. This virus is so unpredictable. So I'm really concerned that if they open up too soon and lifting some of the restrictions, that we may have a second surge, because this virus is deadly and it can turn in a heartbeat.
Next on The National, 2 young entrepreneurs in the age of COVID-19.
We were very upset that most people couldn't come to PEI due to Corona.
Indeed, so they decided to bring PEI to the people. The moment is next.
Well, you're never too young to pursue a great idea or a great business opportunity. That's what these 2 young Prince Edward Islanders learned this summer. With many tourists unable to travel because of the coronavirus, these kids decided to create and sell little care packages across the country to remind folks of better times on the island. This is our moment tonight.
We were very upset that most people couldn't come to PEI due to Corona. So we're putting a bunch of PEI themed things like Anne of Green Gables, anything that has like a PEI logo on it in our packages.
It's kind of like sharing the island to other people. So since we're sharing people the island, everyone gets a piece of it that can't come here.
We split our work down 50-50. So like one day one of us could be packaging it, the other could be putting down the prices. And next up we have a bag of nice PEI sand, and each one has one piece of sea glass in it. So far, business is going really well.
I think it's really fun and a nice experience if we're ever going to make a job in the future.
I'll take 20.
Hey, listen, Jack and Lucas, you are totally going to make a job in the future.
Yeah.
They're part of this amazing program, like the Young Millionaires Club in PEI. So they teach lots of little kids entrepreneurial skills. There are kids all over the province coming up with good ideas.
Right. And unless you folks think, hey, these kids should be playing, don't want them growing up too fast. Lucas says he wants to save up for a Nintendo Switch.
Smart.
And Jack wants to buy a PlayStation 5, which I don't even think it's out yet, but he's going to need some time to save up anyway.
Wise.
That's okay. That's The National for this August 13th. Have a great night.
Good night.